Right.
No Pietro, I assume. He hasn't replied to anything.
No, I don't think he's here. Okay, right. Looks like we are live. And yeah, I trust my computer and all technology. What is going on, Toy Fam? Project Piper Customs here, and we are doing another Q&A toy photography live stream. Haven't been a minute since we've done one of these, but yeah, since I'm launching a new series, I might as well get another one of these in the bag, and hopefully we'll do a few more. And of course, I could not be alone in this venture. I have my trusty brother from another mother in the toy photography game, and that is Tom Green from Toy Art 2. How you doing, my man?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Ready to go?
Beautiful, beautiful. I wouldn't have it any other way. We got Tac Toys and Toys with Film. Lovely Saturday night stream, Ben. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Appreciate your time. One of the most expensive things on this planet is time, and I appreciate you spending yours with me. Framed Plastic Poses will soon be the man of the hour. What's up? A lot's up, actually. I couldn't get the stream going for a little bit, had some problems, but we are here now and appreciate you being in here. We're going to vamp a little bit, let some people roll in, and then we're just going to get right into it. So, yeah, let us know how you're all doing. Favorite figures in the collection you like to snap, gents? King Tony in the hizzy. Hello, guys. Well, hello there. Appreciate you dropping in, my man. Appreciate it. Well, starting straight away with the favorite figures in the collection you like to snap. Obviously, mine's going to be the TMNT. That rhymes. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right. But I will give you a second favorite. It's going to be Predator. I'm sorry, they're just too damn well sculpted and painted. Anything that's got a good sculpt and really good paint job, you don't need much in order to take a great photo. But if you can add a lot more to it, then you've got an awesome photo. So that's one of my favorites. Paul Cronin, awesome surname. Evening all. Evening, sir. Appreciate you dropping by. And yeah, so loads of you in here. Appreciate you all stopping in. Hit that like button if you could, gents. Or even if you are ladies in there. I have no idea. It doesn't tell me. But yeah, just let us know if you have any questions about toy photography or anything regarding this hobby, shove it in here and we're going to get to it for sure. And we're going to vamp on the side as well. But for now, by all means, say hello. Indra coming straight in my best Two-Face from Batman Forever. and me. And me. Damn you, Indra. Damn you.
Massively underrated film.
I know, he gets me impressionists coming out of me all the time. You know how to play me like a fiddle, Indra. You do. How did you first get into toy photography, gents? Well, that is an origin story, 100%. I did address it, but I've loads of new people, so I'm happy to give the version of the story again, and obviously for Tom as well. What else we got here? We've got NECA Shaman Predator. You lucky duck. I've got a bunch of the new Ultimate Lost Tribe, the new ones coming out. But with the issue with Toys R Us, unfortunately, all my pre-orders are held up with them at the moment. But yeah, he looks amazing. Can't wait. Hope you're having fun with him, my man. It is on the rise. They're doing better all the time. They're incredible. I give you that. So yeah, lots of you in here. Appreciate you smashing the hell out of that like button already. You are legends. And of course, with the launch of this brand new series, the ongoing toy photography, the journey continues. Obviously, I hope you all in here have had a chance to check out the beginner's guide. And now we're just going to have some fun, as I stated in part one, where you get to just try out all different kinds of different setups, try new tricks, try some old tricks, expand upon some old tricks, and just have a ton of fun and see what we can come up with and see what amazing art we can work with. And yeah, so if you have any questions, please, by all means, hit them in the chat, and myself and Tom will happily answer any that you have. And also this new series, and I will repeat this for people who jump in later, I do have a bunch of topics I want to get to for different types of setups, but also I do want to cater it to you guys. So by all means, if you have any suggestions of what you would like to see more of in the toy photography game, or would you like a bit more in-depth into, is there's an area that you're not really quite that's not working out well for you, you want a bit more info on, or if you suggest a trick that we may not have even done yet, by all means, we'll give anything a go. I had some a gentleman chime in on one of the toy photography beginner's guide videos, and he goes, "Have you ever shot with RAW on the camera?" I was like, "My camera's so old, I don't even know if it has RAW, but I'll have a look." And I haven't, so I'll give it a go. Could be a new video. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about, and yeah, so let's get straight into it. Lighten up the chat as I see. Tony coming in. I'm still waiting for the Last of Us 2 picks from you. Oh, right. You want, I don't know. I did buy them for custom work. Not sure if I'll take a picture. I know it's all the hype right now around the new show, so I could jump on the algorithm bandwagon. Not bad shout.
Meant to be a good show as well. I haven't got around to watching it yet, but it's meant to be decent.
I'm hearing good things. There's a lot of panic, a lot of worry, because, obviously these things take away a lot from the game, especially now with Hollywood literally doing everything they can to avoid source material and piss off fans deliberately. There was a lot of worry of whether it's actually going to be any good and what they're going to incorporate from the second game. Ugh, Abby smash, no thank you. But it looks like, yeah, episode 1 hit it out the park. I haven't seen it yet. I'm just hearing very good things. So interesting. Hopefully it's a banger of a show and a banger of a first season. So we need more good TV out there. So yeah, Tac, we're keeping up your question. So I'm always struggling for ideas for toy photography. I'm a complete beginner. Are film scenes and comic book covers good inspiration for photos? 100%. 100%. If you see a good piece of art and you think, damn, that's a wicked piece of art, and you say, I want to recreate that piece of art, and I may have the things in my arsenal to do it.
Yeah. What I will say is, and what this is quite often my main source of inspiration, do not limit yourself to recreating it exactly. Like, you might see a really cool cover of like Wolverine and Deadpool, right? It doesn't mean you have to do that with Wolverine and Deadpool. You can mix up. You could do that with Batman and Superman. It's like, you've got the idea for the pose, you've got the idea for the scene. Yep. That's all you need is the idea. You don't have to limit yourself to doing it exact. You do whatever you've got. Like, if it inspires you to do it with a completely different character, that can bring something completely fresh to it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just the image alone. It doesn't have to be the characters. It could be, as Tom said, exactly, the pose might be awesome, or the camera angle that the artist has drawn that piece in. And you think, well, if I haven't got these two characters or good versions of these two characters in figure form, can I use that idea and apply it with other characters that I have? And yeah,
you can do. Like, I've done quite a bit with like comic book scenes from Batman. Or film things from Batman, but using, like, I've done Batman Returns scenes, but with the animated series.
Oh yeah.
I've done Batman comic book scenes, but with the Batman 66 figures. Like, you can mess around with anything you want. It's just sparks that idea, and then you run with it.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly it. Reference, pull from anything. You might freeze frame on a TV show or a movie and think, holy shit. There's actually one. I'll give you an example. Who here has seen Snatch? Okay, there's a great scene in which Vinnie Jones and Avi, I forget the actor's name, are they've got a gun to someone's head, and it's such a unique camera angle. The guy's got his face right here in front of the camera, and it's at a Dutch angle, and Vinnie Jones has literally got the gun to his head over here, and you can see both of them, and Avi's looking over his shoulder. And I thought, that's a brilliant camera angle. I want to try and do that in a toy photography scene with whoever that it might fit.
But that would work as a Punisher and victim shot, or
Yep.
If you got I can't remember, was it the Hood, the screaming geezer that Marvel Legends did? That I never picked up, and I regret not picking it up now.
It's perfect victim head for anyone with a gun, any character with a gun. Perfect victim head, or just for anything. They're the victim, just perfect victim head. That's why I also like using the Bill Paxton from Alien, Necker Alien, because he's got the crying face. Just
You can use it so much. Like, figures with weird expressions can be great.
Yeah,
that could spark a complete idea just from buying a figure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so there's absolutely tons. Like what me and Tom always advocate for is just like, even when we're just getting bored of our collection, having just taken a couple of figures out and having a pose around, just to literally freshen up the display. Maybe that might generate some ideas. And speaking of which, because you use self, Tom, it's a good little segue from Tac's question is, obviously you yourself just got back into, it's been a bit of a hiatus, but you yourself are crushing toy photography at the moment.
Yeah, I had a good 6 months off it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least 6 months not picking up a camera. But sometimes you need to step away from it sometimes. It could be for a few days or a few weeks or a few months. But the minute you get that spark back, that's it. You're back into it. I've already got, I haven't taken anything for a week or so because I've just been too busy. But I've now got 5 or 6 ideas brewing up there.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will say is, it's so much easier now with phones. Write it down. Make a note. If you get an idea, pop in your head. You could be at work and you get something pop in your head. Just write it down. You don't have to revisit it that night, but it's in your arsenal then to revisit at some point.
Yep. Exactly. I do that all the time with images. If I see something cool as I'm browsing Instagram or Facebook, I'm like, holy shit, that'll be it sparks an idea. It sparks an idea, again, going off of the pose camera. So I just save it. I put it in its own gallery, own folder in my gallery for ideas. And I might be able to merge a couple, might be able to improve on something, expand. Like the stuff that Jonathan Maxwell, Old Nostalgia Unboxed, his digital art, tons of ideas as soon as I saw that, so inspiration can come from anywhere, just have to, if you're in a mood, just be open to it. You can spot it anywhere. And yeah, just practice posing, practice your camera angles, as it's mentioned in the beginner's guide, and to get yourself used to the camera, used to the figure, and then just build your scene around that, and the ideas will come, the ideas will flow. Going back onto the chat, Ivan Sanchez, have you guys played the OG Resident Evil 2? I asked since it's the 21st anniversary. I have when they released it for the N64, because I never had a PlayStation 1, way back when. That was the one time I played it, completed it with both Claire and Chris, I believe. And then that was it. So I haven't played it since then. I know it's been remastered and stuff. But yeah, great game. Probably one of my favorites out of the entire bunch.
Never touched a Resident Evil game in my life. Not a single one. I probably should have, but I'm now too old to play computer games.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's an experience. It is an experience. Yeah.
I'm not too old to play computer games, but I'm too old to understand computer games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can play the ones on the Switch with the kids because that's all right. But
yeah,
I tried to get back into The Witcher the other day, Witcher 3.
Oh yeah.
It's only been maybe 18 months since I played it, and I'm like, I can't remember any of these buttons. I can't remember what I'm doing. The only one I can ever remember what to do is when I play either the Arkham games, or any of the Assassin's Creed with Ezio in them. Yeah,
some control settings just stay with you.
I love games. I don't like any of the other Assassin's Creed games, but anyone with Ezio in, I really get into.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But that's nothing to do with Resident Evil, so I'm just going off on a complete tangent now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, you got your franchise video game that you could probably relate to how Resi fans feel with the new ones. So yeah, no, good shout. Indra, I have a small Nikon camera. Would it be good for toy photography?
If it takes a photo, yep.
Exactly. Absolutely, mate. People can pull off amazing shots with their phones. You're good with a Nikon, mate. You're good with a small Nikon. Just give it a try. Put some figures in front of it. Focus it. Snap it. See what you think. You'll be all right, my man. You'll be all right. Tony, how much have you spent on full figures just for accessories? I don't want to answer that question.
No, I don't, because sometimes my wife watches this.
Do you want to see a grown man cry, Tony? No one wants to see that. Not even society, no matter how much they tell you to get in touch with your fifis. No one wants to see that.
I'm not even sure.
I've paid a lot, and I've been prepared to pay a lot more and then stop myself. Just for accessories.
I spent £30 on one of the Buffy figures. Not Buffy, but one of the other characters. I've got no idea. I don't watch Buffy.
No.
Because it came with the guitar and the amp. So I think I paid about 30 quid for that probably, and then I think I threw the figure away in the end. Like, I never used it.
Yeah,
probably kept it. It would have been a good background character for something, but
yeah, agreed. Well, for instance, like I know where Tony's coming from because I know exactly what it is you want to buy just for the accessories. Those Mezco turtles, because those pizzas look good.
No. I think a lot of that is now kind of redundant with the advent of 3D printing.
Yeah, I agree. There's pretty much isn't anything you couldn't get 3D printed now.
We'll get onto 3D later anyway, I expect, but that has taken a lot of needing to buy things for specific accessories is now gone.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I mean, I've got a built-up collection of weird things that you wouldn't even think that are good in a shop, but came with a figure. And I've bought figures because I wanted the figure and I wanted the accessories, and then at some point I've sold the figure but kept the accessories. Like the animated series Man Bat, I've sold that ages ago. But he came with little pill bottles.
Oh, okay.
And I've kept them because you cannot go wrong with having little medicine bottles for the odd shot, you know. Like if you want, like you've got the Mezco Daredevil that's got the beaten up head.
Oh yeah.
You could have that with holding, or the Punisher, or anything with that beaten up head holding the medicine bottle.
Yeah.
In a kitchen or a front room or something. That's a shot in itself. Just it tells a story. Yeah,
for sure. And like you pointed out a really great point. If you can do that, and you know that you can sell the figure, you just made some money back. So if you can find an opportunity to do that, all for it, 100%.
I think the answer is we spent a lot.
Yeah. Still not going to tell you how much I've spent though. Luckily, won't have to now. Riley Bob at a wedding, can't stay. We'll catch the replay. Crack on, boys. Word. Hope you enjoy it. Crash it and have fun. Do a little dance for me as well. Tac Toys of Film. I've always wondered how toy photographers come up with amazing tangible ideas. Cotton wool with smoke, the glass technique, etc. So have I. No idea where they originate from. Some ideas, sometimes you just discover them by playing with absolutely everything and anything around you. I'm trying to think of something I've sort of come up with. No doubt someone else has thought of it. I've just not realized. But
you also have to remember that a lot of what we do isn't new.
No.
They've been doing it since like the 20s when they started filming movies.
Yeah,
and they did computers and stuff. All of this had to be done practically.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have forced perspective and like holding things up with glass, or if you want smoke, you can rub Vaseline on the lens to get a hazy effect. And you know what I mean? Like a lot of what we do is adapting stuff that's been done for years, but microing it down, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then from there, that's why no one can really give credit to the discovery of any of these ideas, is we just pass on the information. There's what I like to see is with the whole toy photography community, if everyone's up for sharing how they do things, all of it just gets put into a pot that anyone can pull from to use. And people keep filling it. And the more it's filled, the more we have at our disposal an arsenal of ideas and tricks, you know. And so long as that information keeps getting put out there for new people coming into the hobby, doesn't matter who created it, you know.
Finding the right people. There are people that like gatekeep what they do, but they haven't invented it. They've learned it from someone else. They just don't want to tell you how the fuck they've done it.
No, great example. You know that gentleman that did the last Ronin shot with the hologram of the brothers behind him using the glass and just having a reflection? That's not new. That's not an original idea. I've done that with a Playmobil Back to the Future shot. I never really posted the shot because I didn't really like how it came out. But the idea of having glass and using something to reflect onto it to have it appear as holographic in the shot, where I did where the holographic shark coming in and attacking Marty from the 2015 set, and I found an image on my phone of a side profile of a great white opening up, and I just adjusted the photo so it was like blue. It had a black background, and I angled it on the glass so it looked like it was eating him. And it came out all right, but it was a daytime shot, so it was hard to pick out. But the idea behind that is not new. He knocked that shot out of the park, so all credit to him on that one. But the idea of doing that isn't new. That's been around for a while. So it's just.
I saw that with. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to remember the guy's name. I'm just checking Instagram because I know he always uses a certain hashtag.
Yeah.
It's because has he changed his name on Instagram?
People do that, and it's hard to find people nowadays. Just a quick shout out to all the new people rolling in. Appreciate you. If you could hit that like button, that'll be awesome. And keep the questions coming. We are going to chop through them. Trust me, we're going to get to every single one, and hopefully you're enjoying it so far. But yeah, if you could hit that like button, be awesome. And thank you for taking your time to join us on a lovely Saturday evening, talking shop of this awesome hobby.
Sorry, I'm going to jump back in quick.
Yeah.
Zeronar1906 on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I know he posts a lot on ACBA, and I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, and I feel really guilty for it. But he did a shot with that glass technique with Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah,
where he just had the reflection coming up, so it looks transparent.
Yeah,
I've never tried it, but I have done exactly the same effect with long exposure.
Oh yeah. Long exposure is a good one.
Where you would literally set your exposure to I think I set mine to 3 seconds, hit your shutter button, and then move your figure out of the way.
Yeah.
And by the time it takes the photo, which you probably can't see because I can't even see where my camera is, you kind of get a kind of a see-through image, like you can see.
Yeah, flash, that's it. Not, perfect with the flash shot. Yeah.
Through him,
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll definitely look at that.
I preferred. I mean, that was quite hard because I had 2 flash figures set up, and I had to press the button and then move 2 flash figures like that. But
not easy.
If you want to get like a motion blur, on a shot, if you put it away kind of slow, like if you've got a 3-second exposure and you take the 3 seconds to move the figure out the frame like that, you'll get a constant blur. So if you want to run in flash with a motion blur behind it, that would be the way to go about it. If
Absolutely.
You don't,
yeah, that was a good one. Also, if you're still in here, because I hope you are, Frame Plastic Poses did that with a Predator 2 shot with Danny Glover, long exposure.
Like loads of people, and if the first time I saw it and learned how to do it was Simon Hill when he done a Back to the Future shot with Marty's hand.
Yeah,
and pulled it away to get the see-through hand look. Like that's where I learned, and then I just adapted it to do what I wanted to do with it. And a lot of people do it with like Miles Morales, that Spider-Man figure, because he can obviously turn invisible.
Yeah,
they'll do it with that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Loads of ways of implementing it, and great trick. We might even do it as well as a video, just a bit of a fun setup. We'll see what we can do. Have a play with long exposure. Another great idea for video. And yes, so carrying on. Tony, old Jack-specific wrestlers always had random yelling, squinting, puckering, etc. expressions. Yeah, they did. Quite a few.
The best accessories you can get.
Yep. Wrestling figures. Keep an eye on their accessories. Awesome. All sorts of shit. All sorts of household crap for their hardcore matches. Great props. Ivan Sanchez, indeed, for the Resi game. Tony again, I have to get an actual camera. I take pics on my phone and they suck. They don't have to, mate, but they just don't suck at all. I actually quite enjoy your pictures, mate. If anything, I would say look at lighting backdrops, lighting the backdrops, get some more light going. But you do all right with your phones, man. You do all right, and you can take some wicked pictures with your phone. I love the Last of Us stuff you've been doing. I've loved your previous stuff, so you're doing all right, my man. You're doing all right.
One of the best photos of yours that I like, one of my favorite photos of yours was done on a phone when you were doing your first video series on the phone to camera business, and you done the winged Batman who laughs.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I love that. Like if I'd have seen that pic anywhere, I'd have been like, that's a good camera.
I appreciate it, my man. Thanks. I know it's hard because obviously trying to show like how, you know, because I hadn't used the phone for so long to do photos, and then trying to use an example of doing one. I'm like, fuck, this is hard. I forgot how wide the angle, you know, the camera shows of your area, whereas it being just a letterbox with the camera, and I was like,
focus. I can't get used to the focus. Like it focuses on everything.
Yeah, it's tough. Remember back when I first started, I was annoyed that it would only, I wanted everything in focus, and I was trying to find a setting where it would focus on everything, but it wouldn't. It would only focus on one thing. Now I love just you know, having some blur in the background because it works now. But
while you go through the questions.
Okay, mate. No worries. So yeah, no, keep plodding on with the phone, my man. Keep plodding on with the phone. Tactile choice of film. Any games that would make awesome action figures that we don't have yet? Oh, I don't really play that much in the way of video games, but has there been any decent Assassin's Creed? I think there has, but like I haven't seen many shots being done with them. So let me know. A bigger expansion on Uncharted would be good. More human characters. I think you can do a lot with those. Trying to think of other unique stuff. Ghost of Tsushima, did that have any action figures? I haven't really been kept up in the video game world of action figures. So I'm sure there are. I really have a hard time trying to think of some at the moment. Let me know if you have any ideas, by all means. Idra, thank you, of course, mate. Do you guys buy custom stuff like heads and accessories? Sometimes, yeah. I bought plenty of custom stuff. I'll happily, if people are selling and are happy to sell or making things to sell, as much as I refrain sometimes, you know, from doing commission work, but if people are making stuff and then selling it as a product, I'll happily invest. Like I bought, for instance, I don't know if you can see it, but my custom Mark 80 whatever, the in-game Iron Man that I made, the head sculpts, SFAD's workshop, some of the best Tony Stark head sculpts you'll find out there, and his Thor head and his Winter Soldier head. I bought quite a lot of head sculpts from this guy. Custom 3D props I bought a load of. I'm going to have a fun Get Crafty painting some of those up. So yeah, there's loads that I bought myself to aid in a custom build that I'm doing, or just for whatever I need. So yeah, 100%. If the product looks good and, you know, I enjoy the guy's work, and if he's selling something, I'll support it. So yeah, there's loads of stuff out there, especially with 3D printers. So that's a big yay on that one. Indra, any brand of lights you would recommend? Ulanzi is a more affordable substitute to Lume Cube, and they have some great different options. Like you know, the Ulanzi cubes, but they have other ones as well. So Ulanzi is a brand I will get by. I think the Small Rig also do similar stuff as well. Small Rig, I think they're different, I'm not sure, but they're also very good. So check out those two and have some fun with those. Ivan Sanchez, have you seen the Phil Tippett movie Mad God? The stop motion looked insane but awesome. I haven't actually at all, so that's a new one on my radar. We'll check out. Let me note that down. Put it in my notes. That's my files, Ben. My notes. 2 seconds. Phil Tippett. Mad.
Oh, is he the
God?
I think he was the stop motion guy that done some stuff on Jurassic Park. Like he was originally going to do all the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park before they went CGI.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair play. Oh, I'll definitely check out his stuff then.
Thing of stop motion. If it's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Oh, just going on stop motion. So some of the stop motion that's out there right now, insane. Absolutely insane. I love a good bit of stop motion. I keep forgetting to remember the account name on Facebook. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Incredible. You all know what I'm on about. Tony, Disney does the glass trick for Haunted Mansion, been around for years. Exactly. For projecting, you know, ghostly images. So Simon Hill does some amazing glass technique work with the Sandman and Spider-Man. Yep. There are loads of ways you can implement the glass technique, you know, to have a character flying, to raise it off a desk, like with the Sandman Spider-Man. He used actual sand. Yeah, he does great work with it, and there's loads of different ways you can use the glass technique. Definitely another video I need to check out, because I haven't used it that much. I've only used it to illuminate a translucent effect from underneath, to make it pop. So I need to implement the glass technique more for sure. Definitely I'll be doing that. Frame plastic poses. Been wanting to do a monitor shot ever since I saw it, and my good friend Presley Payne just did an amazing Pulp Fiction picture, so I finally gotten around to it with an American Psycho shot. I did see your grind post on that. Looking forward to seeing how it comes. I would like to do the same, except my TV's here, and I can't really push it back any further, and the amount of space I have before it just goes off my cabinet is like that much. So I would love to do a monitor shot. I just need a monitor, the back here of my workstation, so I've got a bit of space to set up in front of it. But yeah, no, crack on, my man. Try it. Any trick you want to try, do it, because that's what we're going to be doing over here as well. There's tons I haven't done yet, and I really want to get around to. I have to start driving now. I won't be interacting, but I will be listening. Fair play, Tony. Drive safe, and we'll try and serenade your ear roll. Ivan Sanchez, I want to see a toy line of Brutal Legends. Fair play. I'm not honestly sure what that franchise is. Idea. No, but hopefully so. I hope people get everything that they want. Like, I just recently found out that a company, I'm not sure if it's them doing it, but Biker Mice from Mars are getting a revamp. So Maverick's very, very happy.
Yeah, they sell the guys that do the toys that made us.
That's the one. That's the one. So yeah,
they have done one other figure. I think I can't remember if it was like a blank buck or like a fairly generic sort of figure, but this will be interesting.
Absolutely. Tac, Metal Gear Solid articulated figures would be fantastic. Oh, I would agree on that one. That definitely could do with a revamp. Hopefully, someone picks up the license.
We've had a couple of, Reveltech done a couple. And I know Figma done Solid Snake. There was a decent figure. Like, it was a Figma. I'm not a massive Figma fan, but
no,
it was decent.
Yeah, I used to think they were like SHF contenders. I think they were back then, but they just got overlapped, I think.
Yeah, they do anime really well.
Yeah.
Anything else, like they done an Avengers line, and it was just not great. Shall we say?
It was a bit lacking, wasn't it? It was a bit lacking. Okay. Agree. There's cool Meryl figure, but sadly it's 1/6 scale. Yeah, that's a guy. All right. Yeah, just in talking. That's good. That's so good. But keep them coming, everyone. But by all means, say hello in the chat if you're not yet. Appreciate you all for being here. And yeah, any more questions, by all means, keep dropping them in. Any suggestions you would like to see more of in suggestions for videos for the new series, and anything else we can help answer any questions for with. And yeah, shout out your favorite toy photographers if you want us to check some out. I know Sir Dork, bless him, he's got a new account now. He did a post saying tag your favorite toy photographers. A couple of people threw me in there. I really appreciate it, and it's a good way to start getting in tune with some others in the game out there. That are different styles. Obviously, Sadorki likes doing outdoor stuff. I haven't yet to do an outdoor shot. I really don't have any way of doing one. Also, I haven't really got the bollocks to in my local park, but that's something I'll overcome. So we'll see about an outdoor shot for sure. But yeah, so lots more to go in on. I hope the animation for the new Biker Mice from Mars is good, since 2006 version was kind of lame. Fingers crossed. To be honest, I wouldn't be mad if they actually kept it to like the way it was back then. Like they're doing with the X-Men show. Yeah, just if it ain't
like a continuation.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It depends how much of the rights they've got, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Freaking. So one particular story I did want to focus on, and I hope you're still in here, mate. I hope you're still in here, because I'm going to turn the spotlight on you, because me and Tom have got big love for you, is, of course, our friend Framed Plastic Poses, aka Jonah. Okay, now the reason why I'm focusing on this story is because quite a while ago, he was new to the game, and he reached out and asked for some tips. Bless him, reaching out. And I spent a bit of time sort of helping him in sort of just how to approach toy shot in terms of lighting. He was sending me shots. I was sending him some feedback. And just for a lot of back and forth interaction, he is now one of the top in ACBA. He did literally a underdog story just flourishing in front of my eyes. And it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to see this man's craft grow. So let me just get onto this and I will ping you back over. So what we're going to do is we are going to put the spotlight on you, Jonah. 1 second. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. So yeah. So from where he started off and he then began posting his work to Instagram, to ACBA, and he himself suffered a little bit of the, not everyone was jumping in to help. Sometimes the board does move very quickly. You get to learn how ACBA moves as you are reaching out for people to give you feedback. I then put him onto the grinds. Another suggestion was just to ask others for, to get their eyes on it. They might highlight something I've missed. It's always good to get feedback from multiple people. And now the man is crushing it. You're comfortable in your own style. You're happy to tackle new tricks, and you're nailing lighting. Sorry, mate. Yeah. He's got a good accessory pack that he won in a competition. Who was that made by, Tom?
I can't remember now. Some good-looking geezer from England. I can't remember his name.
So modest, aren't you? So modest. And he has a wicked lightning technique that he's discovered and he's been happy to share, and it's been looking great. So I just want to do a little bit of a history with his page.
The shot with the yellow light coming through the windows, I love that shot.
Which one was it? This one?
No, further up.
The Joker one?
I love that shot.
The Joker panel?
Yeah.
That is good. That's hot.
That last panel there, that just really pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice, man. It really is. It's just awesome.
The contrast between the three panels is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There's contrast in the lighting. It's just a really clever, well put together panel shot, which is really hard to do.
It is, like, to get the continuous flow with the lighting matching and have it, flow in the way of it conveys the story of the three panels visually. Yeah, I love this top one as well. Seeing the Jokers, right there.
Yeah, it's just everything about this is just really clever.
Yeah, absolutely crushed it with this beautiful lighting through. Because it's another one. It's a hard one to try. How do you get light to fill the entire window? Is it's a tough one. You don't aim the light through the window. You aim the light onto something that's facing the window, and it will illuminate the whole thing. And beautifully done. Not too harsh, but not too bright. Well, that's the same thing. Not too dull, is what I meant to say.
Yeah,
but it still looks like it's
there. It's realistic. Like, you can almost imagine that this is like the sun's just going down. It's just really clever. Everything about it is really clever.
Yeah, beautifully done, Jonah. Just one of many, mate. So yeah, now, as I say, going back onto it, he's gotten comfortable with lighting. He knows what he's doing. Experimenting with angles. I mean, Christ, just right here from this one, awesome depth. Like I say, something I've always said, if you've got a bunch of accessories, it's very easy to want to be tempted to put them all into the scene just to show off what you've got. I see it all the time. And there's a lot of accessories in here, but those accessories make sense to the scene. It's an alleyway, and alleyways are normally full of trash because businesses are normally in between either side of the alleyway, and that's normally where they put their rubbish. So where you've got oil drums, that's where you've got, just crates. That's a lot of trash from businesses, and alleyways is normally where it ends up. So this makes sense.
Exactly. And I've seen many shops, they'll set a shot in their living room, but they've got a water cooler accessory, so they're going to put that in. Who has a water cooler in their front room?
Hold on, Tom. You don't have a water cooler in your front room? Honestly.
No, I don't. But no, it's just people will put accessories in because they have them.
Yeah. I did it.
In the setting. We've all done it.
Yeah.
When you start out, we've all been there.
Yeah.
But eventually you realise, like, I'm doing a shot, like, in an alleyway. There's not going to be a TV there, is there? Get rid of that. Right? Just put a bit of thought into what your setting is.
Yeah. Have it make sense to the scene. So yeah, like going on from this awesome alleyway scene where you got the Spidey and Venom pose front and center, you know, destroying each other, beautifully set. And then you've got just this one here. Amazing Star Wars scene. You know, great vibe. The sun feels like you're on Tatooine.
And it's symmetry. You've got dead center. You've got stuff either side of him, but not overfilling the shot. There's room for it all to breathe. Like, that wouldn't work if you had the crates and stuff on one side, but not on the other. You wouldn't have that sense of it being a full, like, real.
It's like it's. I agree, and it's also like either side of the symmetry, but they're also spaced out like a zigzag, right? So you've got this crate here on the side. It's more in focus, and then a bit further back, then you've got this lot, and then a bit further back, you've got his speeder. So it's like bouncing in a zigzag, you know.
So it fills in the scene. You've got a bit of symmetry, but it tells a story. He's just walked into a camp. You know, you can imagine in front of him. There could be a group of sand people sat around a campfire. You know, you can a good shot. You can fill in the details yourself. You can tell the story yourself, and Absolutely. You can.
And this Black Series Boba Fett is an amazing figure. You know, it's good to repaint, and it's well articulated, well detailed. It's a great figure to shoot, and you've killed it with this shot. Just nice.
I've got the SHF one. I've only ever taken like one shot with it, I think.
Oh, really? It's one of those where you just like, I'll break this one out and do something Boba Fett-ish, and then you put it back.
Actually, no, I'll tell you what, I took two shots with it because one of them, I tilted the head back too far and snapped the rocket launcher off.
Ah.
Yeah. So now it's sat on a shelf with no rocket launcher.
Oh, no. Broken figure down. I say again, this is something that I need to do more of, but Tom, you do this quite a bit, and it's the best thing to do is when you've got a setup, make the most of it. As I say, it's the same setup as the Venom and Spidey one. You switched it up, changed the angle, shoved Batman in the middle, got a nice red light in the back, yellow light coming through the doors, and you got a nice white light shining down on him.
But it just shows you don't need tons of diodes. You can do multiple shots with the same diode with different figures and different lighting, which are the ways. Like, changing your lighting is the cheapest way to completely change a shot.
Yep. Absolutely. Another great one there. And again, switching up with styles. You're doing a movie poster, something else I want to explore a bit more on the channel, using the figure. Awesome.
I remember a lot about this it one, because originally I think he had a black like a brick wall behind it.
Yeah.
And he put this on the groin, and we were chatting about it on the groin for quite a while. Like back and forth. There was like 3 or 4 of us like chipping in, I think, if I remember rightly. And it was about like putting the black, you know, have the black background. And so he's still got a bit of the brick wall there, which adds a little bit of something to it. But the black just makes it all pop.
Yeah, absolutely. And perfect cutout. You know, it does look like the VHS cover.
Exactly. VHS cover.
Yeah. And again,
look, there I am.
Bang. And of course, there you are as well with the help. So yeah, just goes to show you. And credit where credit's due. He's an absolute champion for doing that. So yeah, he's doing great things. 100%. Again, just playing with the setup that you've got with different figures. With these 3 right here. You know, so you've come a long way, and you're absolutely kicking ass. You're taking names, and you ain't stopping. And I hope you never.
Oh, that's a nice ice machine there as well. I like
that. Hold on, I've shot past it. Where is that one? Just there. Oh yeah. the behind the scenes of a RoboCop shot.
Lovely ice machine there.
One of the best I've seen. Oh, look, he's got my light. The one that's shining on me right now. So yeah, amazing stuff from Jonah. So I definitely give him a follow. Link to his Instagram is in the description, and you will not be disappointed. Absolutely not. So I'm sure he's chiming in it. I need to look at the chat. I've only got one screen, so bounce back and forth. So I will stop sharing there for the moment, and we'll go on with the chat. Bear with me. Bosh. And still loads of you in here. Really appreciate it. Nice one for destroying the chat. Always a pleasure. So let's have a look here. Frame plastic poses all good in the hood, my man. 2003 version being a bit more edgy and dark. These shots look awesome. Pretty much, this is Ivan Sanchez. Pretty much, it's being a special effects guy while taking pictures. Yeah, it's kind of it. You're kind of like a little mini movie director, special effects expert, and storyboarder all in one. Yeah, it really is. You get to, and the actors don't give you any shit because they're made of plastic and you control every move. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. Pretty much, it's going to be a special effects guy. Yeah. I did dig that one a lot. Awesome scenario with the symbiote. I used this setup for a lot of pictures. I couldn't take it down. Thank you guys for the spotlight and the kind words. Of course, my man. Of course. Yeah, and that's the way I need to do that more, because I only get a limited window, and I something I need to do more of. 100% guilty of that. I just do one shot, take it down, something else. But I need to get my money's worth in setups a bit more often. So yeah, definitely check out Jonah. He's crushing it. Reminds me of Simon Hill, but you got your own style. You're not afraid to change it up. And yeah, it's been a pleasure watching your rise in the game, my man. So yeah. So Thomas, dear Thomas, what would you like to, let's say, subject matter wise, where would you like to explore this new series that I'm doing? What sort of things would you like to input in, or what would you like to see more of yourself?
Aren't you? The exposure, I think, is one of the best things you can experiment with for a fun shot.
Exposure.
The glass technique, like we've already pointed out, there's so many variables you can do with that, from reflections to floating to fly in. Like, there's so much you can do with a sheet of glass that's really worth looking at. And I know the easy route is to Photoshop it. I say the easy route. That's nothing against Photoshopping. No. It's not. It's just doing something practically is more fun for me.
Yeah.
Rather than editing out. So going through all that sort of stuff, for doing things that people think would normally be Photoshop, but being able to do it practically. Yeah. I think, and lighting, like, you can never do enough lighting videos, because that learning more about lighting changed my photography completely. And me. Agreed. Like, rim lighting is one of the most powerful things I ever learned.
Yeah.
And Brandon, Posable Productions on Instagram, and Batman the Articulated series, he does some awesome stuff. And he's been one of my main teachers in the whole photography game, to be honest. Yeah, he's incredible. What he does is a franchise goat with those very things. You know, if it's not X-Men, it's definitely Batman the Animated Series. He's got his own account dedicated to it. No one can pull off animated shots better than that man. No one get. I try my best, and I don't even touch it. But I was doing a shot with Harley Quinn under a street light, and he's like, "Have you tried rim light in that to see if it worked better?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't even know what that is, mate." So he went, like, again, he takes the time to go through it all with you. Yeah. What people need to find in this is people that are willing to teach you how to do stuff, which is what you're trying to do with these videos, basically. Yeah, so I can cover more ground rather than, one-on-ones. Well, I would say with Jonah, absolutely. I was a bit, thing is, I like, you'll know this, Tom, because
back, doing the one-on-ones with custom work, and you know who I'm on about, Tom. I did that with a guy with custom work, and it went very wrong. Very,
Yes.
very wrong. You know who I'm on about. Yeah, so long story short, I put out a video on a particular custom way back when. He enjoyed it and hit me up on Facebook and asked me messages and messaged me on to help him to talk a bit more about what it is I was doing, because he was doing his in real time there and then. Okay, so I was like, okay, a bit of this, a bit of that, and he was sending me progress pictures and this, that, and the other, and eventually it looked awesome. And he goes, "Yay, thanks very much." I was like, "No worries." Spent the whole Saturday afternoon with the man, going back and forth. I think it was that. No, it was that day. Is that day or the next day? He starts going on Instagram, not Instagram, Facebook groups. "Hey, everyone, look what I did. This is what I did. Yada, yada. I can do yours for this amount of money." Everywhere. No mention of me at all. No shout out to the video, which helped what got him interested. Nothing. It's like, okay, I see what's done here. He's now got confident enough to do this one thing. He thinks he's going to make you sell it. He learned very quickly that's not how it works. So yeah, that went wrong very, very quickly, and it didn't pay off for him. I know exactly what he was trying to do, and yeah, so I was like, I just felt like I wasted my entire time with this guy. It just felt like a complete grift. So I was a bit hesitant in doing that with the toy photography, and then I realized it is completely different. There's so much more doing it with toy photography than it is custom work. So that's why I was I couldn't be there all the time, because obviously I'm UK, he's States. Sometimes he would send me messages and I'd be in bed, so I wouldn't be able to reply for him for ages. So, but I would hit him up in the morning. But yeah, it's any opportunity I can, I will. Anytime I can afford to spend doing it, and that's kind of why I do this series, because I've learned a lot. I want to pass it on. I'm still learning. I want to pass it on. I just want to keep the knowledge flowing. That's it. And this is how I do things. If it helps you, if this little bit helps you in what someone else done over here, bring it together, create your own style. That's it. If I can get you inspired into just doing, just putting something in front of a camera and having a play, then my work is done. And yeah, so that's what this is all about. And now this one is just having some fun with me. Let's go. Let's enjoy it. And yeah, so I just want to dive more into it more. As I said, last year, I focused a lot more on custom work. Bigger projects took a lot of time. I weren't managing my time as best I could, but now I'm on it. Time management is fucking key and center. I'm knocking out stuff left, right, and center. I've got another video, not photography related, but I've got another project video coming out hopefully by the end of this week, and I'll have all the footage I need for it done by the beginning of the week, hopefully. I just need one little bit which I won't be able to get until the end of the week, and then boom, edited out. And in between that time, I will be filming another toy photography journey video. I'm just keeping it flowing. Just got to keep it flowing, keep it flowing, keep it flowing. So yeah, I'm on a mission this year, guys. I'm on a mission. And of course, I want to do more of these just to kick it, have fun in between Turtle Talks, and just talk shop.
I could do photography for hours.
Yeah, man.
Doing it, I love talking about it.
Yeah, and also tac, if you're still with us, another great way to get inspired and get fired up, get inspired and fired is just talking about it. Just here chatting about it. It gets you excited. I want to fucking shut this whole thing down right now and set something up. I'm not going to. Don't worry. So let me see it, Tony. Critique some of my picks. It won't hurt my feelings. You sure? All right, player.
I'll get on that. Next job. In fact, I want to, because I'm not 100% sure I know who it is. And I'm terrible on Instagram. Like, I'll go on there and I'll post a picture, and then I won't go back to it for like a week, and then I'll be like, "Oh, people have liked it." Like, and I don't put other people's stuff on there. I'm terrible on Instagram. I really am.
No, it's been a while. Sometimes I miss loads of people's artwork. It just doesn't hit my radar. It doesn't come up in my feed. And then you see, like, it happens with everyone. All of a sudden, it's one person who you followed for ages suddenly likes a load of your like last posts, and I'm like, "Where the hell have you been, man? Where the hell have you been?" And it's like it's just the game of Instagram, and they're just going back on what they missed. So it's all love anyway. If you haven't got a reel accompanying it, to help push the algorithm. Fucking, and that's the one thing that pissed me off about my last episode of Beginner's Guide, was I was talking more about the social media side of things, and what I know and what is still true to this day is, if obviously the more you consistently post, the more, you know, the Instagram likes you staying on the platform and using the platform. It's just that it likes reels more, which is not something that I understood until after I posted that video. So yeah, having a toy shot's great. Can't even say names at the moment. Tom, you're experimenting with more reels now, aren't you?
I am. I just literally take a behind the scenes video, which I would normally do anyway to post on ACBA, and then I just post that as a reel.
Yeah, I just invert the camera
behind it.
Just do it this way and do I don't know, some sort of weird transition, and that's it. Yeah, add a bit of music, bit of flavor, job done. Bosh.
But yes, we will have a look at your Instagram in a minute, so I can see if I actually know who you are or not.
Tony, hope you're driving safe. Tac, can different types of lighting create different effects in photos? For example, some types of lighting in figures for figures in films, and other types of lighting for comic book and animated based figures. Yes. It's kind of why my lighting part in Beginner's Guide was 2 whole segments, because it was like there's so many different ways of doing it. So like for realism, like film, you have night and day, there's stuff inside, there's stuff outside, you know, knowing your environment where you're in, where would light naturally be coming from. There's comic book style, you know, with maybe a white hot or a different color backdrop. And yeah, there's all different kinds of lighting.
Like if you're doing cartoon stuff, which I've quite often found with like the cartoon Turtles or Batman the Animated Series, that saturation. You want heavy, well, not heavy, but heavier saturation than you would on like a film shot or a comic book shot or something a bit more real life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's how I've always approached like cartoony stuff.
Especially if there's like a lot of flat colors, like for instance, the Toon Turtles, you know, there's a lot of flat, you know, greens, obviously. It'll bring all that out to make it look more cartoony. Where something is obviously movie based, depends on what it is you're shooting. You know, you want something with a bit of mood, that's different. But yeah, saturation for sure. Anything animated. I haven't really got much in the way of animated stuff myself. I'm more of a movie figure person. I've obviously got the Toon Turtles, but beyond that, animated cartoon stuff, I guess you could say the Marvel Legend comic book stuff can sort of fall into that realm as well. But you can also mix it up.
You've got the X-Men, which I think you're pretty much all X-Men, aren't you? Or a lot of X-Men on your Legends. Or
you
used to be.
X-Men and Spider-Man. Beyond that, now it's pretty much comic book stuff, like mainly anything that I can use as a civilian. So, like for instance, to pick up, I finally got my animated Scorpion. That can go, because I want to build up my rogues gallery from the animated series. So I have a display of that, and then of course with the X-Men too, because obviously I love those 2 cartoons growing up. So yeah, beyond that, when it comes to comic book, for me, it's anything I can use as a civilian. Beyond that, it's mainly movie stuff or TV stuff. So it's my wheelhouse, personally. Right, let's continue on. That sucks. I know, mate. It did at a time, but it was a lesson learned. It was a lesson learned. I know not everyone's like that, but I know what red flags to look out for now. Frame Plastic Poses, Jonah, and I can't thank you enough for how many hours you helped me improve. What were horrible shots at the beginning? Hey, man, you can see the big... I've got horrible shots. You'll look back at some of my shit. Jeez Louise. It's funny as fuck to see where it is now.
My first Instagram, like, when a lot of my first shots on it. Oh.
We've all got our beginner horror shots. In my horror, I mean how terrible they were starting off. But hey, it's good to look back on where you were and how far you've come. And that's what's great. Because I saw that in real time with your posts, Jonah. You sent me, I think it was a Freddy one, you know, and with a few tweaks of the light, it wasn't how you wanted the first time when you sent it, but with a few tweaks of the light, and it was then how you wanted it. And it just changed it. Like what Tom was saying, that one change in lighting just changed the entire shot entirely. So, yeah, so now you've gotten comfortable with it, you know where to angle stuff, you know what environment lighting's like, you get it now. So, and now you can just have some fun and play. So yeah, by all means, man, it was an absolute pleasure. And I say again, it's been a privilege watching you come up and kicking ass in the game. So keep at it, 100%. Ivan Sanchez, what I hate about Instagram, if you close it or turn off your phone, turn it on again, then they make you go back at the beginning instead of letting me continue scrolling while I work. Yeah, that's a pain. Or it will refresh. You see something, and then it refreshes automatically, and then it's gone. You have to scroll and find it. Yeah, Instagram can be a pain in the ass sometimes. I feel you. I've animated X-Men Legends and looking to take some photos of them. Tac. Yep, that's cool. Cheers, Tom. It is easy to give heavy saturation on the iPhone. Is it easy to give heavy saturation on the phone?
If you're shooting just on a phone, on an iPhone, then no. What you'd probably be better off doing is, if I'm shooting on a phone, I would get Lightroom on your phone or Snapseed, because that gives you the opportunity to go in and do the sort of editing work that you could do on a DSLR camera that you can't do on your phone. So you'd get your raw shot from your phone, you put it into Lightroom, and you can mess around with the temperatures and the saturation levels and all stuff like that. So that's, I know like ACBA kind of frown upon all the photoshopping and stuff, but Lightroom, you can just do stuff from your phone that you can't do on your phone, basically.
Yeah.
So I would get on that and just have a little play with it, and you'd be amazed at what you can do with like a raw phone shot and then turn it into something a lot more polished.
Yeah, exactly. And through stuff like that and experimenting, you get to sort of discover what kind of style you enjoy shooting yourself. You may want to continue with the Photoshop stuff, or it depends on what kind of styles you like, and go from there. So at least you're just doing it and experimenting with camera angles, experimenting with light, like I say, saturation, fill that scene with light, and use the apps that obviously Tom suggested to play around, tinker with it.
Like Lightroom is good because it's not Photoshop.
Yeah,
it's done by the same people that do Photoshop. But all you're doing is you're adjusting stuff that you could adjust in camera. Yeah, but you can't if you're doing it on a phone.
Yeah. So it gives you those options.
Yeah, it's all saturation levels, light balance. If you're doing a daytime shot, you can punch the yellows up more and like scale the blues back to give you much more of a daylighty sort of feel to it and all that sort of stuff. So it's well worth, if you're just shooting on your phone, it's worth getting something like that.
Agreed. And beyond your random food pick, Tony, because I know you like to splurge with some of the personal stuff on here. Are you ready? I know you're driving still. I know you're driving.
Oh, here we
we're going to attack you without the ability to come back. I'm only messing. I'm going
to get Gordon Ramsay on.
Okay. So we are going to take a look at our friend King Camacho's Insta and have a look at some of his picks. And hopefully give him some feedback and share. Okay, so does this person ring any bells, Tom?
Not even slightly. I'm going to go onto Instagram right now, though, because I'm that sort of a nice guy. I'm going to go on Instagram right now.
Okay, so you did that. I'm looking at the top three, the first three, right? And I know you can pin certain old pictures to the top. Okay, but I'm just going to go for these first three, the example. Now, instantly, the one that stands out to me is this Jason one. I really like this Jason one a lot. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. I love this light reflection off the steel of the blade. I like the yellowy ember light behind him. I like the cool light above.
Yeah, I like everything about that shot.
Yeah. This is lovely. Absolutely lovely. And it is criminal. I even liked it myself. Okay. There you have. Yeah, I have now, Tony.
I've literally just started following and I liked that shot because that's a beautiful shot. 14 likes is an absolute travesty.
Absolutely. No, I'm sorry. Have you noticed on ACBA that Boog's been going on a one-man raging mission on bunch of shots just saying criminally underliked, criminally underliked, criminally underliked, criminally underliked. I'd say bring it over to Instagram because there's a bunch on Instagram that are criminally underliked as well.
Although I've actually done a lot better on ACBA lately than I thought I was going to with some shots.
Yeah, you got a feature. You got a feature, and Jonah did as well.
Yeah, I did actually on Tuesday. I got a feature. I was quite surprised.
Yeah. So it's always an honor to get an ACBA feature. As I've said, if the tangible toy photography as a whole was say like the movie industry, then ACBA is Hollywood. Okay, that's how I like to describe ACBA to people. Links to both of their Instagram and Facebooks are in the description. By all means, check them out. It's the ACBA page on Instagram is just some of the best toy photography you've ever seen in your life will be on there. And you get to follow the artist who's done them and discover new people. So, yeah, great stuff. And Tom got a feature. Jonah got a feature. And, yeah, we need to give my man Tony here a follow. King T Camacho on Instagram. By all means, this is travesty. Let's just get this picture up a bit more. I'm going to share this as well once I'm done.
Yeah,
with the stream.
That needs more likes.
Criminal. Now we've got here. There's Call Me King Eddie. This is one of the I don't know. This is one of the Mezcos.
Yeah, one of the fucking wanky skull things they do. I fucking hate Mezco.
No shade on your shot. I'm just not a fan of the figure.
Oh no, not on the shot. Just on the company.
Yeah, the company as well. We're not big fans. I've got a feeling that my Keaton Batman's been cancelled, but that's just me. I can't actually access it because I checked out as a guest. Stupid idiot I am. So it's not in my account. But I've seen people say that their Keaton Batman's been cancelled.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I saw a post on YouTube which had release dates or I've anticipated figures, and I saw a comment saying mine is Keaton Batman, but it got cancelled by them. So I don't know the ins and outs. I can't look at mine as I checked out as guest, but
it wouldn't surprise me if they've just given up on it.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me either. Just jumping back onto this shot quickly, I like the focus of the throne. It's very, very big. What's his name? Damn it, Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Very, very iconic. I personally, if I was going to add a little critique, I would have hit the backdrop a little bit more with light. Or I would have lowered the angle or come in a bit closer.
My only real critique of it, and this is, I've just had a little flick through his Instagram, and it's a running thing. Not on a lot of shots don't have it. Lower the angle. A lot of people do this. They'll take a toy photo and they'll hold the camera up and take the shot. You don't, if you're taking a toy shot, you don't want them to look like toys generally. You want them to look like you're making a scene.
Yeah.
You want them big, you want them to look real. Get low, shoot. Like, I'm not talking worm's eye view, like shoot. But you don't want to be shooting at eye level.
Yeah.
You want to be lower and angling the camera up.
Yeah, makes a difference from having it be look like a scene from whatever IP you're a fan of this from, either TV show, movie, comic book, whatever. Having it, it's a difference between having it look like a scene from one of those, or just what do you call it, showcasing the figures for the company. Like you'd expect a shot like this to be on the packaging.
Yeah, flicking the Instagram, flicking through Tony's Instagram, I can see it's a variance between ones I would say have nailed the angle. That would say you need to work on the angle. But kind of that's like the lighting and everything's really good.
I like it. Yeah. Sticking on this, just this Last of Us. Shout out! This is actually a custom that he's made of the clicker. So, or he does some amazing custom work as well.
That's really cool. Then, I looked at it and just assumed it. I know nothing about him. I just assumed it was a figure that had been made.
Yeah, no,
so
he's
that's a good custom.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure what he's a king of, where he is. I don't want to question stuff that might who knows what he's into. But one thing I can tell you he's a king of is parts for customs. He will name a part off the most obscure custom. He'll name every single part and where it came from. And he'll suggest amazing parts for customs and where you can find those parts. So parts hunting for customs, Tony is your man. He is an absolute legend. He's helped me out tons. And the guy's got some knowledge, man. This personal stuff. So just quickly trying to find something. Nice little haul. I like this one.
The angle on this is perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would have done myself, and it's purely a personal choice rather than a critique, is I'd have cut the picture off at the bottom of the gravestones. Like I'd have punched in a bit more.
Yeah.
Like get more of the figure in, a bit less of the, because there's a fair bit of dead space.
Yeah.
But that's purely a personal, that's what I would have done, not necessarily what he should have done.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would have probably maybe have introduced some kind of like a rim lighting of a bit of a moonlight, maybe picking up maybe the back of these tombstones at the back here. So we get.
You could have had a blue light up the top coming down, because that would have punched the side of the hat. But yeah. I think the hat's kind of picked out really nicely the way the light's hitting it. So
yeah.
Again, a lot of this is more personal taste rather than critique.
Absolutely, but still nice, really nicely done. And the man is also a prop king. I'll give him that. He has his prop game is crazy, because he's willing to spend money. Now, obviously filtered, but I do like the old-timey wimey style.
Yeah, I think the filter there works really well. But again, I'd change the angle, but I wouldn't drop the angle this time. I would raise the angle.
Yeah.
We're coming down more onto it, like almost like 3/4 bird's eye view, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Some shots will utilize the up the higher angle looking down really, really well. This being, I agree, would be one of them. Yeah.
But again, it's all personal choice rather than critique, because you can't critique the angle that he's taking it at. It's just that I would have done myself. And
again, it plays into the one thing, obviously, it's hard to avoid with a phone is the phone lens will open up the angle like that. So it will pick up everything from the bottom to the top to either side. So it's harder to fill a frame and contain a frame with a phone camera lens than it is with a
DSLR. A lot of the side walls would have like blended in more.
Yeah,
would have blended in a little bit more. But at the same time, I think this is one situation where like the phone camera probably worked to the advantage for that.
I agree. Actually, yeah, because it's showing you. Yeah. It's showing more. It would have picked up like a regular DSLR would have cut it off here and there, where this works. So yeah, I reckon. The phone was a good choice for this one. Just a little bit of a higher angle. Yeah,
I'd have maybe, because that desk I'm assuming is quite. I don't know if it's the desk that I'm thinking of, like the Diamond Select X-Files
Scally ones.
Which, if it is, I would have moved it over more to fill the whole bottom shot rather than like the corner being cut in there.
Yeah,
just because it would have framed it more. But again, it's just personal choice more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, see if there's a couple more we can look at, and then we'll go back to the chat. Appreciate you all still in here. Tony, hope you're doing well driving, mate. Don't you worry. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Now, again, really, really cool Last of Us 2 shot. I like the what do you call it? The rundown, derelict, end of the world sort of vibe is to decorate the set with. I personally would have added a little bit more light coming through this way. Just maybe like a sunlight ray coming along, hitting I forget what her name is. Ellie, that's the one. Ellie. But yeah, I like the setting. Possibly maybe lowered the angle because it's getting cut off at the foot here.
Yeah, again, that's my critique, is the angle again. That's it. Nothing else. Everything else I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe again, I would have had a yellow light coming in on the side, hitting his face.
Yeah.
Like capturing that face a bit more.
Yeah.
Because it would have looked like the sun kind of beaming down, which it would from that angle, you know?
Yeah.
But that's like, you need the little lights and all that to do it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, that's what I hear, man. Nicely done. I like the vines. I like the setting a lot. He's showing me behind the scenes.
The setup itself is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was just, I would drop the angle and have some yellow light coming in from the side, and that could look like it's straight from a movie.
Yeah.
Or a cutscene from a video game.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's quick look at this Casey one, and then we'll move on. Now, I do enjoy this. This is actually nice and centered. I like the bodies. I like the setting. For me, angle-wise, I don't know. The angle's not really. I'm not feeling an issue with the angle.
I like the angle. Again, I would just crop it off to his foot.
Yeah.
Like have feet at the bottom of the frame rather than the foot soldier. Like, I would move this bottom foot soldier up.
Speaking of down foot soldiers, one just fell over in my cabinet.
Yours over.
Tony, your pictures are magical. The influence is hitting my cabinet. Let me see if I can sort this out. Go on, Tom. Sorry, mate.
But yeah, I would move the bottom foot soldier up more.
Yeah.
So where the V is between his head and his shoulder,
yeah,
would kind of have that frame in Casey's foot, like his left foot.
I agree. Yeah.
And then cut the photo off there, so you could kind of make out what is by his foot, and you could see the red bandana, but just have that as the bottom of the shot, because there's a lot of space down the bottom that's kind of not really serving a purpose.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And I think it would help focus it in more on Casey. When you've got a shot like this where there's not a lot going on but around it, but you've got a lot of space there, you're kind of drawn into that space rather than the figure. Like, Casey is the focus of the shot, but there's so much blank space around, you're kind of drawn on that. Whereas if you just move that figure up, cut the bottom out, because you could still see that foot soldier's legs.
Yeah.
Still see there's a foot soldier by his feet, because you could make out the shape of it. You've still got the one behind him. You could tell what he's done, but the focus is still on Casey.
Yeah.
Rather than the dead space around it. That's just, again, it's, a lot of it is personal choice rather than, I can't say that it's wrong. Like,
no, he's in the right direction.
I've done it.
Yeah. It's just little creases to iron out. That's it. Little touches and creases. So, hopefully, Tony, we've given you some good feedback. And hopefully we will keep keeping an eye on your Instagram for sure. And I hope you give this guy a follow. Definitely some of his shots are just criminally underliked.
That's that. I mean, I've critiqued that shot. 22 likes is my biggest critique, or 23 likes, because that's fucking disgusting to have that low.
Yeah. So let's get this guy's number up. He's a great guy. He's been nothing but an absolute champion of a mate to me, and he's kicking ass. There's in this community, and he's an awesome dude. I've got so much time for the guy. He's brilliant.
This is Instagram for you, though. I've seen some utter dog shit get like fucking 5,000 likes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
23 likes. Oh, fuck off. Sort yourself.
Exactly. Like in my part 9, where I said I've literally seen a picture of a fucking cabinet doorknob. That is it. No context, no caption, no nothing. Likes out the fucking woozah or whatever. It was crazy how many likes that thing had. And I'm saying, are you serious right now? I just don't get it sometimes. So yeah. But people were putting effort into their stuff, and it's hard trying to, and it can be discouraging. I know, I get it. It's hard. But just keep doing your thing. The likes will come. The likes will come. Promise you that. Let's throw it back over to the chat. See what you're saying. Appreciate you all still being in here, kicking ass with us. It's awesome to have you, and I'm glad we can talk shop. So let me quickly get back to where I was. Bear me. Yeah, there we go. The light on the machete looks dope. It's okay, Tom. I didn't think I followed you either, but I will. There you go. Win-win. Win-win, baby. Would you guys mind looking at my new updated the grind side picture in the grind of the American Tackle Shop? Okay, mate. Let me pull it up quick. 2 seconds.
I haven't been on Facebook for a couple of hours, so I haven't even seen this shop.
No worries. I just need to get back to the home screen. Facebook's being a dick. I have to open up a new tab. Sorry, folks. Yes, whilst we're here, hopefully Mr. Bug Life won't mind. I won't mind going through. After this, we're going to check out the ACBA Instagram page and just show you some fire that's bubbling up over there as well. So let me go to here. Let me go to the grind. So is it in the comments of your prior post, Jonah, or is it a brand new post? I'm assuming it's in the comments of the prior post that you put up. The grinds, there we are. Now, if any of you are interested in the grind is a place where you can get real-time feedback on the current setup that you're doing. So whereas you can ask for feedback on a shot that you post in ACBA, if you really want to iron everything out before posting it on ACBA, the grind is the place where you can go. And you can get, multiple people jump in. You can show them what you're working on. But if you ask for a suggestion or need a little help or something, it's just not right and you want some more eyes on it, throw it in there, let them see what you're working with, and you'll get some real-time feedback. I see. So Jonah Sullivan. Oh, here we go. So that, I think, is the one I saw before. I could be very wrong. Let me have a look. Aha. So this one from 17 minutes ago, that one. Okay. All right. So I see what you done. Hold on. So that's a cutout on a figure. I like it when people do this.
Is he working on a shot while joining in a chat on Toy for? This is like Inception.
Yeah. This is it. This is real-time grinding, guys. Real-time grinding. Okay. So now shout out to Jonah for this one, man, because not only are you utilizing the figure brilliantly, and that's also something you can do, which I see and always forget to try, and that is always an option. If you haven't got a head sculpt that's working for you, you can use a cutout. Jonah's showing you how right now.
Oh yeah, cutouts. That's another good one to cover.
Yeah, cutouts indeed. The transition of the monitor is seamless. I can't tell where the base of your shot begins, and it just blends in. Obviously, I think the angle, maybe the only thing I might do. Tom, what do you think? I'm thinking.
Hold on, I'm just having a look now because you haven't shared your screen.
Oh, sorry. So just talking to me. Let me share you the screen. Would help, wouldn't it? And people can actually see what I'm talking about. Apologies. Let me do that now. Okay. All right. Boom.
Ooh. The cutout actually works really well.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing is the shadow on his face, like coming down like the right side of his face on the cutout, doesn't match the lighting on the figure as such. But again, it's like skin tone and then stark white, so it probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's scaled perfectly. It's just I'm not 100% sure the lighting matches on the cutout and the figure.
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah, because obviously it's the still image from the movie. The lighting's coming from this direction. Bloody shadow this side. So if you could sort of dim or reduce the lighting this side, I'd say focus on the hand. So if the hand was a bit more shadowed, it might help convey it better.
I'm just trying to draw up the actual kind of image that he's used to get that cut out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what kind of it's from this scene in the movie.
Yeah, I've just Googled American Psycho acts. Like,
by the way, Joan, if you're going to continue doing American Psycho ones, if you could do the one where he's leaning on his music shelf going and they'll dance. I love that whole scene. It's fucking brilliant. If you had a Jared Leto Joker head on that, just but yeah, it's this particular cutout here with the shadowing. Yeah, Tom's right. I didn't pick up on that straight away. For me, I was thinking maybe pulling the image, zoom it in slightly, just because the angle of where the camera is coming down is kind of like, okay, it's almost there. Almost there works for me a little bit. I just think if you could pull the image in slightly, so this angle of the floor isn't, there isn't much, you can get away with it a little bit. But as it is with this big line, I say if you could just zoom in on the image a little bit, it will reduce that and convey the angle a bit better. It will help sell the angle. That's the only thing really I can catch beyond what Tom suggested, with just maybe reducing light this side just slightly. So maybe you can get a shadow on the hand that mirrors slightly what's going on with the face of the cutout.
Yeah, that's my only real critique about it, and other people probably wouldn't even think it. Like, I mean, you could quite easily get away with that as a shot, probably fucking smash Instagram.
Yeah, there is some stuff that we could, just pinpoint like what we're doing now, but would kill it on the social medias anyway. I think you could. Tom said right. You could post this as is, and it would blow up. So, yeah,
but without that, it's purely that slight lighting thing for me, and that could even be explained for the fact that it's skin tone and black rather than white jacket. You're going to have different lighting on it anyway. So
yeah, but fair play for the use of a cutout head sculpt. It's scaled perfectly. It looks like this head's the right size for that kind of body, and I love it when people do this. I love the setting of the sofa, the bloody stain, the body, the choice of backdrop. I say just the angle, but that's just me. You can still get away with it. But no, I'm liking where this is going. And yeah. There you go. There's proof.
That's not a massively bad amount to say.
No. Beyond that.
Nothing to say.
What figure is this that you've wrapped up? Because that's a perfect looking, overall, poncho. Let me know in the chat. Hold on, I'll get to the chat shortly again. But I am curious to know what this figure originally was.
Yeah, he's put on there that the raincoat took him ages to make.
Oh yeah, shit. So no, fair play. Yeah, I can imagine it did. It looks amazing though. You've done great with it. Because in the movie it was kind of like baggy and it had the collar and you could see just the suit underneath slightly. So you could have translated that well, brilliantly, man. Okay, let's kill that. Go back to some of the chat, and we'll keep it going. Loco Lou, what is going on, my man? Just seeing you pop in here. So let me continue on with the chat. Yes, might have been mentioned already, but nice shot. Yeah, shout out on Tech Chuckers this week in dioramas. This week in dioramas. Morning for your Predator dio. Good stuff. Yes, shout out to Tech Chucker. He did throw me in his latest episode of This Week in Dioramas. Appreciate you, man, for the AVP dio that I did. And awesome work in those as well. He pulls up and highlights some really great work from people. And yeah, always a pleasure. And thank you again, Tech Chucker. Really is an honor. So thank you as well, Thomas. Really appreciate it, my man. The raincoat took me ages forever to make. Made it out of a grocery bag. You slayed it. You absolutely slayed it, dude. What's popping? Where do I send my shots? It's Mayfix John Wick. Okay. Mayfix John Wick. Nicely done. Nicely done. You know where to send them, dude. Get them on ACBA. Get them on the grind. Get on the grind. I will recommend that group, the grind. Okay. Just it's always a good tool to have if you want some feedback before you post it up. So yeah, get on the grind, dude. But yeah, so that is so far. I think what I want to do now is saying that, unless anyone else has got any questions they want to ask in the chat, I am going to throw it over to, and I hope Mr. Book don't mind. I am going to grift a little bit off of the page, but I am shouting them out in my description. ACBA for life. These people made me who I am in this hobby, and it's made a lot of other people. So we're going to go through a few and just highlight what we like and what we don't. And there isn't much that we don't. So let me share the screen. Gosh. All righty, Roo. So, articulated comic book art Instagram. Okay. Start from the top, work our way down. This, insane. This is how you use a top angle. Insane kitchen diorama. Not even sure if these are action figures or just porcelain statues. I don't know. It still looks fire.
That's, again, this is what we were talking about earlier with Tony, the Invisible Man shot.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Yeah, just getting that higher angle.
Yeah.
You can just punch in something a bit different.
Yeah, always play with your camera angles. Always play with them. Right, can I go from... Yeah, I'll go backwards. Let me just get that out of the way. Okay, now what we have here... I don't know. Is this photoshopped? It's made it on the board.
I didn't like that one when it was on the board, so I'm not getting involved in that one.
I like the effort. I'm not sure the execution's there, but it made the group, it made the page. So fair play. I think Simon Hill did a great one using mini mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of mini mates, Tom, are you going to be getting the TMNT mini mates or?
Yeah, because they've just shown another pack as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which has kind of made me think, oh, I could probably go pick that other setup. I need to have a look for it.
I think you would smash some toy photography with those. Now, it's 1/6 Pulp Fiction. Hello, awesome.
I mean, it does kind of look like Mulder and Scully.
Yeah.
This is when it comes to toy photography, you kind of ignore that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to suspend your belief a little bit, but yeah. It's a really well lit shot.
Mm-hmm. Blends in with the again monitor for the background, and depicted really well, capturing that scene. And like you say, you can suspend disbelief. You know who it is. Like my Venom, when I did that panel, when I was highlighting my old Venom custom, I used a Bill Paxton crying head as a dude in the store that he was about to eat. Yeah. It just, you know it's Bill Paxton. Rest in peace to the legend. Century Productions, another great example of he does a lot of the comic book stuff, really good comic book stuff.
And again, this is where we were talking about the saturation level.
Mm-hmm.
It's up a lot higher on this shot than it would if he was doing a more real, which he does do more realistic shots as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a comic book shot. He's amped up the saturation levels.
Yeah. So Tac definitely give this guy a follow on Instagram, and you'll see some great examples using some comic book Marvel Legends. Next, what we have here, Excelsior 1975, great looking beast shot, really nicely done, close up, nice. Just focusing, you got a bit of laboratory. I believe that's the 66 Batman laboratory at the back.
It looks like it. I mean, it could be anything. It's kind of, again, this is the beauty of the out of focus bit. That could be literally anything.
Yeah. And
you wouldn't know.
No, exactly. But it is giving the feel that he is in a laboratory. And the main focus of the shot is just him looking through the microscope, and that's all you need. Nice.
That's a really cool microscope, and all I want that.
So do I, exactly. Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from? Probably 3D printed. We'll get Maverick on it or Pietro.
Yeah, get on that. I need that microscope. I always do science lab shots with like the Batman stuff. I need that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Another great example of having a camera angle up. Now, I remember back in one of the early episodes of Beginner's Guide, well, saying, you know, to focus on sort of a lower angle, getting close up, a bit more lower, you know, to really sell some drama. Now, like Tom said, there is definitely uses for the higher angle. This is one of them. This is one of them for sure. You know, so yeah, beautifully done. The rain technique, something I want to do a bit more of. I just need a bigger spray bottle. Oh yeah.
No, that's a really nice shot. And again, we're talking about saturation levels to make it punch out as a comic book shot. You've got this, a comic book figure, but the saturation level isn't dialed up.
No.
With the realistic setting and the rain, it doesn't look like a comic book figure. It's got a realism to it.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like the Thing is one of those characters that you can kind of get away with that because,
yeah,
you know, a movie version of the Thing probably wouldn't look so dissimilar from a.
No,
you know.
Definitely not. But it just shows when we were talking about different lighting and different camera effects will get you different looks. Like this is the sort of thing you had a Marvel Legends Beast shot where just before this with the ramped up saturation and it made it look comic booky.
Yeah.
Get to this, it's darker, it's not saturated, it's got the blue tint to it to show that it's at night. You've got the rain, and it just looks like this could be from a film.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're both comic book figures.
Yep. There you go. So Toy Fanatic killed it with this one, and Akira Joe. Got to love a bit of Akira Joe, bless him. He's in here with a Wolverine shot in the snow. Saturation up. And yeah, so you can see the snow coming down in the background as well, and on him too.
Yeah,
so as you can see,
that's cool. I mean, I'd have used a completely different head because I hate that fucking head sculpt.
I never liked this design for Wolverine with the whiskers.
No, I wasn't a massive fan of it, but I just don't think it worked. It worked in a comic to a degree. I don't think it translates particularly well into a figure, but.
I probably would have had an unmasked head for this, maybe. I'm not
sure.
It
worked, or just the regular, like, angry-ish looking head. But again, they're stylistic choices rather than a critique.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. 100%. Absolutely. We'll have a look at another one. Oh, I like this. And if I can tell. That is a cutout, I believe. I'm not honestly sure.
I'm not sure if it's a cutout, if it's a Photoshop, if it's a long exposure sort of thing. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's this here. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm thinking Photoshop. I almost think that's the back of his other leg.
Yeah, true. It could be.
I think Photoshop, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be anything. It could just be really well done practical photography.
Yeah, absolutely. From
the board, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's really beautifully lit.
Some nice rim lighting.
You know that has got Alex Ross written all over it.
Oh yes, absolutely. Took it right out of my mouth. Yeah, absolutely. Just perfect. That's kind of exactly what kind of a poster style he'll do for the Hulk. Yeah, so shout out to the Modified Collector. And let's keep going. Let's have a look at some more.
I saw this on the board in the week and I fucking love it.
It's amazing. I did as well. Just the portal to one side. Beautiful. Yeah,
it's just great. Everything about this shot I really like. The framing, the depth. You've got buildings in the front, you've got buildings in the back, you've got stuff like debris in the middle. It's just a really well layered, really well balanced, really well lit, well posed. Everything about it, I fucking love.
And even though I can tell what's there, like for instance, I'll tell you what, it kind of works for me because it looks, because you got a pipe here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is obviously where his nano mister is sitting right here, because you can see the jet.
Yeah.
All right. But it could look like the pipe's burst. It could be exactly that. It could be a burst pipe because there's a pipe right there. Okay, so that is perfect way of blending in. I think you can actually see the nano mister there. I'm not honestly sure, but it gives you illusion that the pipe's burst for whatever reason. But I like the fact that the portal is just to one side. You can just catch it here. It doesn't need to be fully in frame. Okay, and yeah, it shows that he's just stepping into it, and it looks like an angle that you'd find in a movie scene. And the colors pop again. A bit of a mix of the saturation mixed in with a bit of realism. Perfect use of props, makes sense to the scene, and yeah, great angle, and he's front and center, and everything else is around him nicely symmetrical, balanced out. You've got stuff over here, you've got stuff over here, stuff there, stuff in the foreground. Beautifully done. So that is Toys R Us Kid 81. Definitely give him a follow. And we have Akira Joe with a nice Hellfire from the Ghost Rider motorcycle. I love this motorcycle. I've always loved this designer motorcycle for Ghost Rider. I believe this is from the Nicolas Cage movie. I could be very wrong. Don't roast me. But I love some good illuminated fire, translucent effects going on. And yeah, it's nicely oversaturated. You've got to do that with fire. Translucent fire, get some light behind it, make it pop. But I do love this motorcycle for Ghost Rider.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah, shout out to Akira Joe, part of the Titans with Harold, the Godzilla guys. Now, I do have some criticisms with this one. Okay,
I don't like that cutout.
No, it's not real framed. It's half the effect of the foot's cut off. I see what he's going for, but the angle, I just think that the angle could have been a lot better. And the backdrop is like, are they both in midair?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I like it. I think Doom could be far more exaggeratedly posed to show that he's been kicked.
Yeah, exactly. He's being kicked up, yet his face is turning towards this way. I get it. The hood, you can't really tilt this guy's head up, but
it's all, that's, again, I'm not taking anything away from the shot. It's personal preferences rather than critique on a shot that it's still a really good shot. That's well posed. The kick's really good.
Yeah, I like the kick. I just wish the effect wasn't cut off here.
Yeah. If anything, I'd rather cut off the bottom of the figure rather than the top.
Yeah. I personally would have changed the kick to a kick with this leg coming around and striking Doom in the face over here. That's just me. I love a good tornado kick, martial art move. And if you can translate that well in an action figure pose, that's the kind of noise you get from me. But yeah, so that's just little things that I personally would have changed differently. But you made the board, so fair play. So the dream comparison _toys. Let's keep going, and I'll get back to the chat in a minute. Okay. Crackhead 9000. All right, picked to buy Crackhead 9000. Okay, I do like Spidey's pose. I do like Venom's pose here. I do like the rock rubble, and I do like the red background.
Yeah, there's not really much to say on this. It's a simple shot, but it's nicely done.
Yeah, nicely lit. Captured everything it needs to capture.
Nicely posed. The eye contact's good.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of thing that people need to remember when posing is focal points. Like they need to be facing the right way. They need to be looking at each other.
Yeah.
Like
line of sight.
If you've got 5 figures in a shot, they should all be looking at the same thing generally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's no good having 4 figures looking over to the left, and then you've got the Avengers, and you've got like Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Hawkeye all looking over there, and then you've got Thor looking off to the side slightly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's caught his attention? Like, they should the same way.
That'll only work is if Daredevil's in the group, and it's because he's blind.
Yeah, that would be all right, and you can make a spooky comment out of that.
Yeah. I tried doing that. One of my earlier shots, I had it was just a random setup. I had a big explosion at the back, and I had Wolverine, Deadpool, Daredevil, and I can't remember who else, maybe the Punisher, all walking away from a badass explosion. The shot wasn't very that good. It was one of my earlier ones, but I had Daredevil walking off to the side and Deadpool walking front with the rest of them, but noticing it. You know, just a random funny shit I used to do. Just really made me laugh. But yeah, it's kind of that just reminded me of that particular shot. Okay, couple more, and then we'll go back to the chat and we'll wrap it up. Okay. So again, going on the saturation, I think this is a comic book cover recreation.
It is, I think. Oh, I cannot remember off the top of my head who drew it.
Was it Jim Lee? Is it a Jim Lee comic?
No. Was it? I'm going to Google it now.
This Wolverine pose looks so familiar.
No, it wasn't Jim Lee, I don't think. I'll be honest, looking at the cover, unless that's like a copy of the cover, it's hard to fucking tell, but it almost looked. No, it is Jim Lee. It just must be an older Jim Lee, because the cover isn't the best Jim Lee I've ever seen.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that is the cover. I've seen this recreated a few times, to be honest. It's quite a popular cover to recreate.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Fair play. And again, shout out to Century Productions. And of course, Natasha's, is that Natasha? Yeah, just with the boy haircut. Hello. Keeping it clean on Instagram. Very nice. Figuremania show. This is Harold stepping away from the Godzilla work and giving us a nice Superman shot.
Oh, again, you've probably got the glass technique for the birds.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the stand is hidden behind Superman's leg.
Yeah.
Which I've done a few times with Superman like that. Or I've used cotton for clouds and stuff to hide the stand, but that's a nice shot.
Yeah. Really, really well done. Do you know what I found out? If you use one of the clear stands and you can pose it in a way where you can hide the clamp around his waist, if you, whatever sort of, like I did a Superman shot of him in the sky in the clouds, but having a light behind the stand makes it disappear if you're using a clear one. Really? So I'll give you an example. So if we close that for a second and go to moi, where am I? Let me go profile. So come on, internet. All right, so sodding Instagram loads like one row at a time. Might take a few moments to get down to where it was before. So do bear with me, chat. But yeah, I wanted to highlight it as something I discovered dicking around with it. Where are you? That's a bit of an overexposed one. Let me see if that was the one, if there was any more before it. I have a wider version of this shot. But basically, yeah, the stand is there. It's clear plastic. And I've got the clamp around his leg, this leg, so his bum and his thigh are covering up the clamp. And the stand is there, but having a light here makes it disappear.
Yeah, I'll have to bear that in mind.
Yeah, worth having a play. Worth having a play. Or disappear enough where just like I've got a little bit of vapor cloud here, even a little bit of polyester in the front, just to hide the rest of it. It'll make it like, if it doesn't make it disappear entirely, it'll make it disappear like 90%, where it won't take much for it to disappear with a little bit saying in the foreground.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bit, like the Spider-Man shot I did last week.
Oh yeah, perfect. Love it. Let's go to that.
The chimney in front of it with a bit of poly coming out the chimney.
Yeah.
That just kind of hid the stand off, you know?
Yeah. That was awesome. Let's
poly
go to
wrong with.
Go to that. Yep, off the chimney. Perfect way of hiding it. And again, great use of cutouts. I love the animated smoke coming off of it.
Oh yeah, I've done this. I can't remember what shot I actually made those cutouts for originally.
but I love the Spider-Man pose though.
That was a fun pose to do. I've still got him in that pose on the stand on my shelf at the minute.
It's good, man. That's what I like when it comes to this, like just one perfectly rigid web for that, for the the taut I'm about to come at you with a swing.
It took a bit of angling to try and get it so that the web was out of the frame.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like half finishing in the shot.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, you done well, man. I love this. So yeah, again, just a little bit to hide the stands. Little tricks like that. And I will do one on, again, I've got a couple of videos on it, but I will do some more flight stand hiding stuff. There's loads of different ways you can do it. So that'll be another video to go into. But I think it's a good way of capping it off. I love this. Really enjoy this one.
Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely great. Great use of the Ultron bots.
I've got I had 4 of them, and I needed something army buildy sort of thingy for Superman to smack. So,
I
love that Superman figure. That is such a good figure.
Oh, the Hush one, yeah, absolutely. Just a question: has the Harley been released yet?
Yes.
Fuck. Another one of Toys-R-Us that I probably won't ever get from him now.
I don't know how long it's been released. I only know because I sold my Joker the other week because I fucking hated that Joker. And the guy I sold it to put a photo up on Facebook in the Mayfex group that I run.
Yeah.
Today with it, and it's got the Joker with the Harley. So I assume it's been released.
Yeah, I've got to find it now. I've got to find it. Just remember that this is the other alternate. This is the first one you did, and then it was the alternate we're looking at.
This is the difference between saturation level.
Yeah.
Because the shot is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference in the shot. It's purely saturation level. I've got 3 different saturation levels on the camera, like saved on presets, depending on whether I'm shooting a more realistic scene, a comic book scene, or a cartoon scene.
That's good to have.
So I can just jump between the 3 to mess around with it. And then quite often, if I want to take a B-side, but I don't want to change the pose, I like the pose, that's when I change the saturation level.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I've got the same shot, but different lighting, technically.
Yeah. No, you've done well. And I love this one because it has the let go of web just there. Such a great touch.
Yeah, it's little things that you kind of get into. And again, I think the hardest thing for me to learn, but you've got the standards, you've got the lighting, you've got the posing, is you don't just take a shot and be done. Like that, I think with this Spider-Man shot, I took about 75 photos.
Jesus Christ.
To then pick this one as the one that I liked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Multiples. That's a lot of multiples. Shit.
My average is probably about 30 to 40.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it sounds about right. But
this one, I took so many trying to get, especially with that, because I had to hold that web in.
Yeah. Yeah.
While trying to take the shot. and keep the camera straight and just taking shot, like just multiple shots and then going through them and being like, yeah, I like the position of it there.
Yeah.
So the angle's not really changing, but the position of that web was constantly changing as I was moving it about.
I agree. Well, I had the same sort in the video, trying to get a good smoke plume behind Leo in that samurai shot, and I'm vaping. My entire room's filled with vape. I'm coughing my lungs up. I had to refill my rig about 3 times. Went through so many different shots just to get one I liked, but it's the name of the game. It is the name of the game. I think that is a good note to end on.
Yes.
So, right, we're going to stop there, and I'm going to go to the chat, quickly read through some, and then we are going to wrap it up. So appreciate you all for sticking in. Much love to you all. So let's kick it off. Oh, nice. Not too much to get through. We'll try and dim the light on the left, but that's what is helping blend the background to the practical floor. Do I need the angle higher or lower? I think the angle's okay.
Angle's perfect.
Angle's perfect.
Purely try and dim that light a little bit, but again, you're torn between getting that bit right and getting that bit right.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a monitor shot, you're perfectly right. You're completely right. You're probably more worried about making the dio and the monitor blend together.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest part of any monitor shot, is getting the lighting to match.
Yeah.
There. So I would probably, in that case, if you can't get it to match, if you move the lights, then just go with what you've got.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with it.
No, exactly. So, yeah, agreed 100%, mate. Indra, what about figures that won't stand on their own? Well, there's always a sweet spot, sir. Now, don't get me wrong. We've all had the case of the collapsing setup because one figure's taken a tumble and destroyed the entire thing. I had it with Mr. Foot Soldier just here. Not going to lie, those ankles are getting pretty loose. And despite it looking good, the wooden floor on this base, it can be a bit uneven. Trying to find a sweet spot for him to stand where he's not going to fall over. And that hasn't fallen over in weeks. Nay, I say before Christmas, even before then. So very random that we pull up a shot with downed Foot Soldiers of Tony, and then mine decides, oh, I've had enough as well. So sometimes it happens, mate.
Tony. Find the balance. Blue tack.
Yeah.
Blue tack's a big help. Hide in a stand. There's all sorts of stuff you can do.
Oh, yeah. I've hidden a stand in a figure where both feet are on the ground, but it's just maybe at such an angle where his weights just will not allow him to stand. So I just hid a stand in there, one of the wire ones, just to keep him upright for that shot. So there's always ways of thinking outside the box to get a figure to stand that will not cooperate. So always a way. But yeah, that is it. Oh, and recently got the atmospheric aerosol stuff, and I've been loving that. Good. I bet your lungs haven't been, so do use it cautiously. But I'm glad you're having some fun.
£9,000 a can.
Yeah, it's crazy amount of money.
Cans for one shot, and I'm like, no, I don't like my toy photography that much. No. I'd rather buy to my house; it'd be cheaper. Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Much love to everyone that's been in here, kicking the crap out of the chat. We love it, and we'll be doing more of these for sure. So, and yeah, I say if you're watching this on the replay, sorry, mate. Best fun I've had in ages.
Yeah, man. Always good to talk shop. Yeah, so by all means, keep your questions coming in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay and you've got some questions, comments, suggestions for videos or stuff you might want to see, like I say, this new season is ongoing. There is no end cap. Just going to be us having some fun under the toy photography banner. And I really hope you enjoy it. And there'll be more frequent. There'll be longer videos. There'll be some shorter ones. We'll be covering all sorts. Think of it as like the beginner's guide and all those side note videos, but sort of blended in. We're going to cover it all and have some fun. So my movie shredder won't stand on its own. Which one? 1990 or Secret to Use? work those feet. Sometimes those feet can be bastards. Okay. And make sure they're both planted. And then from there, work on the legs, work on the tilt and the angle of the ankles. From there, then work on the hips. Okay. It's just finding that sweet spot.
If it's just a joint that's gone, like if the ankles are going, a bit of clear nail polish.
True.
Stick it in the joint. Move it around a bit so it doesn't completely set, but like it just helps stiffen it up.
Yeah.
Neck are very good at loose joints after a while.
Oh yes. My turtles know it. Including my foot soldier. So I might have to do the same thing for that guy. But yeah, see you guys next time, and thanks for the feature. Absolutely, my man. Keep crushing it, and we look forward to seeing more of your awesome work. Hopefully, maybe if you fancy jumping on at one time, you can join us on a stream as well. But that will do it for this one, guys. Much love. Appreciate it all. I hope 2023 is doing well for you, and I hope you're kicking ass. And and if you are, keep kicking ass. So that would be it. Wrapping up from here. That is goodbye from me, and we'll see you in Turtle Talk Live next week. Well, I have some things to address regarding Tatsu, but that'll be it for now. But until then, guys, take it easy, and we'll see you next time. And